pleasurable it is.
Not quite boiling yet then.
Not quite boiling, but yeah, it's all right. I've just been out for a quick run. So yeah, I'm focused.
Oh, bless your heart. So how's things been going since we spoke last? What's been going on with you?
Yeah, so I've been doing what you said on Mondays and just having a minute. So which I'm really enjoying. Mondays, just kind of planning my week of what's going to be happening through the week, and just taking time to just relax a little bit and not get too stressed. So that's good.
Cool.
I've got a lady rejigging all my news services on my website. So then hopefully then I'll kind of start doing a little bit of blogging or like a newsletter type thing going out from my website.
Yeah.
My Giggles on Wheels. I've tried to, because did I tell you I'd signed up to the chocolate PR company?
Yeah.
So I did a press release. I might send you that actually, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. Far away.
At least you can have a look and see. So I did a press release. So, and I did a bio, which I need to finish my bio. Might send you that as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. So the bio I had to answer questions, so it's now needs to be put into a bio format because it's just still in kind of questions at the moment, questions and answers. So I'm going to work on that on Friday with my mum because I struggle writing or putting it into kind of a format. So my mum's going to come and run through that with me on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So the press release I've sent it out to like all the local papers.
Yeah.
Oops, let me just decline that. I've sent it out to all the local papers, all the TV, radio, etc. So it's made it into 4 papers. It's made it into the Manchester Evening News, About Manchester, and then the 2 local ones, the Leeds Journal and the Wigan Post.
Fantastic.
And then we was on the radio with it on Friday. So I've given myself like 4 weeks. So I'm really now want to kind of nail, maybe trying to get it like to the Granada reports. And then I feel like, right, that's one mission finished. I'm trying to concentrate on one thing for 4 weeks, do you know?
Yeah.
And then, so, do you know, because I do the magic word bracelets, I do the giggle gigs, I do my parties, the hospital. So it was hard to see what story I should give to the press, you know. So I focused the press release on the giggle gigs. So the Giggles on Wheels. So I've just gone all out on that. So the press, so it's made it into the papers. And what I've done, I've teamed up with the local tea rooms, which is my friend's quirky little cafe and does amazing cupcakes. So basically, I go out at the weekend and we've put an half price package together because the normal Giggles on Wheels should be £70 and then £10 for the cake, so it's like an £80 service. So
Yeah.
we're doing it at half price on certain days what I can go out, because I just feel like I was getting there with my job. My parties were getting back to, well, shall I say, some kind of normal. I had like 4 parties last week. That's what I would normally have on a weekend. And then obviously with the restrictions and things coming in place, it's just back to nothing again.
Okay.
So it's a bit scary. Yeah. It's a little bit scary when I look in my diary and think, crikey, where is this? What is going on? So I just feel like the Giggles on Wheels is it's a brilliant service, and it's so magical. You wouldn't believe the joy what I'm having just delivering cakes on people's doorsteps and having 15 minutes of giggles, and they get one of my dolls or rabbits. But it's a doable price. That it's trying to get it out there to, this is an amazing treat. It doesn't have to be your birthday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least I've done probably about 15 deliveries this weekend with it. So I know I'm only making £30 on each, because it's £10 for the cakes. I'm making £30, but it's better than me doing nothing. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. You know, I think one of the key things right now is, you know, adapt or die.
Exactly.
And you know, if you've got something that you can, you know, that you can offer like that,
yeah,
I think the mindset is not so much I'm only earning £30 from it.
yeah.
I think the mindset is more I'm earning £30 from this. So how many of these can I get in without, you know, without going into meltdown? You know, to be able to bridge the gap whilst we're while we're all still working out what the flipping heck happens next. You know, because it just, as soon as we seem to take a couple of steps forward, something happens and we go backwards.
We go back again.
And you know,
are you feeling the same? Because I just feel sometimes, some days I feel like I'm losing the plot, and then so other days I feel like, oh, I've got it.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, because you know, you just sort of think, I just think I've got some traction going, and then right, okay, so now something else has changed, or some you know, some other restriction has come about, or you know, something like that. And you know, I think it's just interesting that, you know, because you know, I was in isolation for a long time, so during lockdown I wasn't leaving the house at all. And in the last couple of weeks, I've got brave. I'm not going anywhere exotic, but I've gone up to the post office, for example. And I went up this morning and was quite shocked, because last week when I went up, I just strolled in, you know, followed the one way, you know, being a good girl and all that kind of thing. And I'd got my face mask on. But when I got there this morning, they'd gone back to only letting one person into the store at a time.
Right.
And all of a sudden I sort of stood there and I thought, oh God, okay, so now I've got to stand in a queue with everybody else around me. And I just thought, this is such a difference. I actually don't feel as comfortable having to stand in this queue as I did just strolling straight in. And I thought, this is really interesting, because there's not been, as far as I know, an official, you've got to go back to one person in, one person out. But obviously that particular, it's a co-op, you know, that has a post office in it.
Yeah.
And they have obviously decided that that's how they want to play it. And it just, I was quite surprised this morning, Lucy, actually, about how much that knocked my confidence. And I think we're all feeling a bit vulnerable at the moment. We kind of think that we've got it sorted and we know what's happening, and you know, and then okay, you know, something changes and it just feels a bit weird. So yeah, I think it's completely normal, you know, to be thinking like that.
See, the thing is, like, I would love to be getting the Giggles on Wheels it's like I say, it's a £70 service normally. So and if you was to book in, like I've got one tomorrow, and they've picked like a Tuesday, or they've picked their time they want me to go, so that's the normal price. But then we're just putting these special offers out at the beginning of the week. So I know actually this week I'm free. I'm saying I'm free like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, and that's it, because I've got things on in the afternoon. So that's when I'm saying that's the special offer, and it's just a bit more attractive, isn't it? £40 is not as when they'll treat, like all the ones what have had it this weekend has not been a birthday. It's just they're just treating the children to a few giggles. Which is really, really nice, and really, it's nice that people are kind of supporting it. But if it was £80, I just don't think that people would spend that kind of money just for a treat. I just think this is nice that I'm rolling with it with the tea rooms for a while, just until kind of the things pick up party wise, really. And it's a nice story as well, the two local businesses coming together, supporting each other. And then we've also we're donating a visit each week so I went and visited my little friend Ella, who's from the hospital, and she's just amazing, and she's been in isolation all the way through. And then we donated one to another little girl yesterday. She's gorgeous, only 3 years old, and she's got a brain tumor and a rare form of, I can't remember. I think it's something to do with the kidneys. So she's only really, really tiny. I don't know much. See, this is another thing. What I was quite upset then yesterday, because normally I'm at the hospital, aren't I? And I'm there every week. And for 22 years, I've worked at Royal Manchester Children's Hospital, and I'm classed as a visitor. I'm not allowed in, but I would have normally have seen this little girl at the hospital, and she's local, and then it's same as anything, like somebody knows somebody else, and we got talking, and I was like, oh crikey, if only I was at the hospital, I would have seen her there anyway. So, and it's just a bit sad really that I'm not in. So I felt a bit gutted yesterday, like, even though it was nice seeing them and cheering them up, I'm like, oh, why am I not at the hospital?
Bless you.
It's just, so I want to try and get to on the TV like Granada, because at the end of the day you've got to get visible, haven't you, and it's such a nice story. It's such a nice story that there's two local businesses teaming together, and it's the message on the radio was making a difference, and that's what we are doing. We've tried to we've adapted, like you say, and just making a difference on people's doorsteps. So yes, I'm kind of, what I'm trying to say, I'm focusing on trying to focus on one thing for 4 weeks, run with it for 4 weeks. And then obviously once the Giggles on Wheels have kind of built up a momentum with that, I was thinking then September, when the kids go back to school, that September's going to be another massive change, and we're going to adapt again now, aren't we? I was thinking of running with like the magic word bracelets, going more down that kind of route with things, and run with that for 4 weeks, because there's so many positive stories out of magic word bracelet. One, what a lady sent me in who suffers from she's got OCD, and she wrote a lovely feedback. She had a bracelet, her word was I can. She said that she'd not slept in a bed for 3 years because her OCD was so bad. And she said, and she managed to sleep in her own bed a couple of weeks ago. She says, I just kept twizzling the bracelet, the circle round on the bracelet, and she wrote such lovely things. So that's another kind of journey what I'd like to go on the map. But at the moment, I've kind of just took a bit of well, I've not done much on magic word bracelet, because I'm just going all out with the Giggles on Wheels.
Okey-dokey.
So does that make sense? Do you think I'm doing the right thing there?
I think you are, because I'm scribbling frantically as you're talking, because there's a few things that are firing around in my brain at the moment, which comes that ties this all together. I think I think this particular time is a really good time to be focusing on the Giggles on Wheels. You know, kids have been in and out of school, or in and out of homeschooling, in and out of lockdown for you know the best part of 4.5 months now. And you know, I think there are quite a lot of, you know, very young children who actually will be there'll be quite a bit of trauma. I know that sounds incredibly overdramatic, but you know, they've not been able to see their friends, they've not been able to socialize in the way that they would normally, they've been having to stay at home, you know, all that kind of thing. And of course they don't have the adult coping mechanisms that we do to, you know, to help them see beyond, you know, and think things will change, things will get better. So you said earlier when you were talking about Giggles on Wheels, you know, it doesn't have to be a birthday. And I think that is absolutely genius way of marketing it for the rest of August. Is you know, it's that whole thing of, you know, as you're preparing to send your kids back to school,
Yeah.
Why not cheer them up with,
Yeah.
you know, Giggles on Wheels, and
Yeah.
and help us bring that brilliant magical joy right to
Yeah.
your doorstep, and
Yeah.
cake.
And cake. Yeah.
Do you see what you know, that whole
Yeah.
kind of, you know,
Yeah.
this, you know, for just £40, why not, you know,
Yeah.
treat your little ones, you know, to a laugh,
Yeah.
a gift, a cake, and send them into September with a smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like
Love
that.
it. Yeah. Love it. Definitely. That's perfect. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think as well, if you then start to think about the fact that it doesn't have to be your birthday, or a birthday, sorry, is to
Yeah.
think, you know, what about gifting this to
Yeah.
somebody that you love? So if you are
Yeah.
an auntie or a
And
grandma,
that's what a lot of people have done. That two aunties have done that this week.
so talk about excuse me, talking about
It's
gifting
okay.
the experience, I think, is a great one. And then what I'm
Yeah.
thinking there is, you know, if you happen to be an auntie to 4 or 5 little darlings, then, you know, is there some traction in you saying, you know what, if you'd like to gift this to more than one little person who you think deserves cheering
Yeah.
up with cake and giggles, then, you
Yeah.
know, something along the lines, Lucy, of you know, if you buy 3, you get your 4th one free, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's
where
good.
you're thinking, look, you know, block book it. You could book me
Yes.
through the year for everybody. You know, significant birthdays. Doesn't have to be a birthday. It could just be a cheer up. Are you missing,
Yeah.
you know, your nieces, nephews, grandchildren? Why not
Yeah.
send me? You know, again, it's hitting in the feels.
Yeah.
But you could
It's
also
exactly.
think about saying, and if you book I'm thinking out loud, you know, if you book a Giggles on Wheels with me in August,
Yeah.
then the cost of that Giggles on Wheels would come off your first party booking if you book a party with me before the end of the year. Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, you're getting the
That's
cash flow now while you need it. But this is
yes.
because this is the second part of the quote, you know, adapt to survive, get those Giggles on Wheels bookings coming in, because it is earning you 30 quid a time. And, you
Yeah.
know, 30 quid's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Well,
Um,
that's it.
but then thinking, okay, so if that's what I'm doing to adapt to survive now, how can I plan this to thrive going forward? Okay, well,
Yeah.
now let's think about some hooks to get people to want to do this more than once. So, you know, if you've got multiple smalls in your family, then why not talk to me about my loyalty scheme?
Yeah.
Buy 3, get 1 free, or however you decide to do it.
Mhm.
You know, and then piggyback that with an offer, you know, through your Facebook page of, you know, if you book a Giggles on Wheels session with me in August,
Yes.
then you'll get the cost of that Giggles off your first party
Yes.
if you
Yes.
book that party before the end of the year.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, I like that. That's great.
Because you might have
That's
some people thinking, oh, I didn't know about Giggles on Wheels, that sounds interesting, and then, you know, you're also sowing the seed that
yeah.
parties will come back. You know,
Yeah.
you can have parties. I know when we spoke the first time that you were saying, you know, you can do socially distanced parties. I think
Yeah.
people are just so far down the rabbit hole of not knowing what to do
What
or
they
how to
can.
do it and what they're allowed to do, and
Yes.
you know that
Well,
you
that's it. I mean,
probably just need to tell them.
I
You
know.
know?
Yeah. And I think that's what people are wanting to be told, what they wanted me to say. Like, I mean, I don't know what your lockdown are you can you have going gardens or not? So
Yeah, I
where
can, as long as I'm a meter away from everybody. You know, that's fine. Just keeping my bubble small is what's important for me. So yeah.
yes. So I mean, because I've got the magical tent and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But we're in Manchester. Well, they say Greater Manchester. I don't know. We don't quite. Nobody kind of really knows what is going on. They brought when it was Eid last week, they brought the restriction then that you weren't allowed to go into households and party basically. So a lot of the garden parties, you're not even allowed to go into people's garden, be honest, from different households. But it got brought in around Manchester because the rate was going up in places where there's a lot of mixed race, so like Blackburn and Bolton and places that it was going up.
Yeah.
So Blackburn went back into lockdown, I think. So we weren't. So it was when Eid. Was it Eid last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they brought this. So it threw everybody again. Are you allowed to have a party? Are you not? So I had garden parties booked in all weekend. So there was. I just said that I was happy if they was happy. So people have kind of not listened to the. Some people have, and some people have not are not listening to the guidelines basically. So I don't. Everybody's just really confused what they should and shouldn't be doing.
They absolutely are. Yeah, they absolutely are. There's a lot of confusion out there.
Yeah, I think that messes with your brain even more. You prefer to just go, right, are we locked down or are we not? And you just don't know, do you? So people are scared, I think, of just being judged though all the time, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
So yeah, so it's like you're saying, it's for you to tell, for me to like to say that this is
Yes.
this is what
absolutely tell them, if effectively tell them that it's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think by drip feeding that in around something that works. So, Giggles on Wheels, bringing that brilliant magical joy direct to your doorstep.
Yes.
That's really easy to understand,
Yes.
in the whole kind of, oh, okay, great. So
Yeah.
you stand outside, I stand inside. That works.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that.
Yeah.
But then I think if you're then going forward with, you can buy multiple giggles or, book a giggle, put that towards your first party, that
Yeah.
gives you a chance to start to talk about things like the magic tent.
Yes.
And
Yes.
effectively start to give that reassurance of,
Yes.
if you do book a party with me, then this is how it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how we make sure, I make sure, sorry, that, your children and their friends are safe.
Yeah.
This is how I do it. And I think it's that whole bit of, storytelling marketing.
Yeah. Well, I like that. Because then, like you say, it then gives people plants the seed, doesn't it, to book a party.
Absolutely. Why not be really obvious, Lucy, and start suggesting things like back to school parties?
Yeah. But I've got a couple of those actually.
And just I think if you're really, I'm going to use the word obvious, but if you make it really obvious that you take the responsibility for the social distancing, I think possibly the other bit that some parents might be worried about is, how do I make sure that everybody's safe? And it's like, well, you don't have to. I do that for you. If you book me to come along to do a party, then this is what happens. And I think that there could be a really nice little series of Facebook posts about how it works.
Yeah.
So, because the Giggles on Wheels, as I said, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So, why not think about telling the story of what happens if you book a party?
Mm-hmm.
And you could really, you could almost, just break that down into a weekly story. So what I'm kind of seeing in my head is, what happens as soon as somebody makes that booking? At Luby Lou, what's the first thing that Luby Lou does when you get that booking for a party, apart from jumping up and down and going, yes?
Yeah.
What I'm thinking there is you tell the story of how you take the booking and
Mm-hmm.
then prepare and then deliver the party, so that for a nervous parent who might be thinking, I'd like to do a little bit more than Giggles on Wheels, but I'm nervous about a party, I'm not sure what I can and can't do, is that you're effectively providing that reassurance whilst you're also telling that, you know, giving a bit of marketing, frankly. You know, did you know, let me talk to you about the magic tent. You know, so you put your booking through with me, that's brilliant. First thing I do is make sure that's in the diary. Then I start planning for your party, lots of making it very individual words, you know, rather than using I plan for the or a party, is you know, I plan for your party. And all of this stuff, Lucy, you can just dictate it into your phone. You know, if you because I know when we spoke last time, you're like, I really don't enjoy the writing out bit. And it's like, so don't just dictate it, bung it across to somebody else to type up for you, easy peasy. And just think, you know, these are the 3 or 4 steps that it takes me from a booking to the party, and what happens after the party. I think that could be quite a nice little, you know, how Luby Lou goes to bed, in the nicest sense. You know, when you've had your party, we pack up the magic tent, and we go back to Luby Lou HQ, and you know, we dust ourselves off, and you know, we get ready to go and do it again. It's building that feeling of security and confidence, whilst also creating this really quite nice little marketing piece about how it works having a party in weird and wonderful COVID times.
Totally, definitely. And I like the buy 3, well, get 4 and only pay for 3 for 4, on moving it into different areas, because this offer is just like it in my area. But then I've got quite a bit of following in Liverpool and Chorley, which is another 40 minutes an hour for me, really. But I could, because I've already mentioned it in my stories and on my Facebook page, saying that I want to take the van on tour and I want to move it into different areas. But for me to just go to Chorley, you wouldn't get the £40 offer. But if you could get me 4 bookings and you can just pay for 3 in that area type thing, so at least it gets it moving around. I think what I'll do is just roll with it again in my area, because I mean, it's easy. It's so easy. When you look what effort goes into the big Luby Lou party of setting everything up, and it's brilliant. I've done a few in my tent last week, and it's just that my part. I don't know if it's because of, well, it is because of the situation what we're in, but whether I'm more relaxed with the children or they're just wanting this so much at the moment. The parties are just so magical. Like, I can't even put words down on how just connecting with people again, and just having those. It's still exactly the same show as what I was doing like 6 months ago, but what is it what's making it so magical for me? I don't know. And for them, it's just great.
Different. It's the difference. You know, we've all been in Groundhog Day for you know, and so I think, you know, being able to present something that shakes people out of that, I think is really powerful.
And we've had time to we've had a lot of time to reflect on life and everything, and we're just appreciating it even more so. So I'm noticing more things of in my show, like reactions from children, and it just melts you so much, because I'm like, oh, that's just so cute, just keep giggling like that. Oh, it's brilliant. And it is just getting that message out there to parents, isn't it, that they're safe, and it's the confidence with it.
Absolutely.
It is. So going on that's one thing what I am kind of learning to get the most out of my business, to concentrate on kind of one area. And then obviously in September I want to run with the magic word bracelet and building up people's confidence and getting back to school. And is it do I aim at schools to kind of go and work and do the masterclass in schools?
So talk to me a little bit about the magic word bracelets, Lucy, and what your idea, what your dream is for this in September.
Well, before the lockdown, I had started working. I've done a magic word masterclass in Martha's school, which is my middle daughter. And it was, the feedback on it was just amazing. It was just brilliant. And seeing what children actually, how they get to the word and the whys, why they chose the word. It was just, it's just unbelievable. It's magic. Like, you just, one word or a couple of words can be just so empowering and mean so much for a child. And just to then have it stamped on a bracelet and it be there. So I was doing that in schools. I was organically doing it in the hospital, with patients who were met. And then I've done my own masterclass at my friend's gin distillery. So I've covered quite a lot of different areas of it. Works the same workshop masterclass works for children and for adults. That's the message what I was trying to get across to people. It doesn't matter what age you are. We can all come up with a word and use it to uplift us, inspire us, reassure us, confidence. So I had a couple of schools, having done that for Martha's class, I had a couple of schools lined up to do it in. So I would love the masterclass to go into schools, really. That would be my dream. I have done the masterclass online, virtually, in lockdown. That's how the lady came up with the word I can. So I had about 10 people over 3 days. We just did some little exercises to get to the word, and that so worked. And that was I'd offered that as a free service, which I would probably like to run that again. Maybe that's what I need to do, is to do the masterclass before September, and really advertise it and have it as a £15. The bracelets are only £15. So I think if I did the masterclass on virtually on Zoom, and they pay £15 and they get a bracelet, I think probably I need to have a bit of a build up to it. Last time it was I just advertised it like the week before. I think I could need to get a story and build up to get quite a few people on there, not just probably 3 weeks. What are we in now? So say like the beginning of September to have a masterclass.
Okay.
And that, again, it was put out there for adults, and I put it out there to children, but kind of 9+ because I do a lot of lives anyway. I didn't want children coming on thinking that I was going to be entertaining them as Luby Lou. So that's why I put it on there for like 9+. So, and I didn't know if it was going to work or not. So, but it did. It so did, which then obviously it gives you confidence to think, oh, do you know what? I should have charged for that. Sometimes, if you pay for something, people come back and want to do it more, rather than when it's free, they just go, oh, well, it was free. So it's like psychological, isn't it? Like the chocolate PR company, I paid a lot of money to be part of that 4-week course, and it made me do my bio, it made me do things, whereas if it was free, would I have done it?
And
it was saying when I went up, it was saying when I did a detox before my 40th, and I paid a lot of bloody money for that. Paid like 150 quid, whereas if I'd have paid 20 quid for it, would I have done it? So I wish when I'd done the masterclass, but when it was free, there was somewhat kind of stayed till the end, and some didn't, which I wish I'd have just kind of done it as a more paid thing. But then you get your bracelet. So would you say that's good enough, £15? And
yeah, absolutely. I think particularly when you make it clear that it includes the bracelet.
Yeah.
So I think the other thing about that is to kind of put yourself on the other side of the equation here, if you like, and think, okay, then, so magic word bracelets, be a virtual masterclass. It's £15. It includes the bracelet. Is to sort of sit back on the other side and think, okay, so if I was going to talk to somebody who had absolutely no idea about magic word bracelets and what this was all about, what are they going to get out of it? So effectively think, right, what happens in the Magic Words Virtual Masterclass? Why would people want to come? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Why would it? Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, sort of pretend, if you like, with me that I say to you, I've got a 10-year-old who's a bit nervous about going back to school after all the time that, you know, they've been unable to share things with their friends and all that kind of stuff. What could a Magic Words Virtual Masterclass do for them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Know what you mean. Yeah. So you need to kind of answer those questions for them, don't you?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm assuming, because obviously I haven't been to one.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that there is a creative element here where they get to think about what their magic words are, or their magic word is.
Yeah. So I've got to kind of tell them. So I mean, the masterclass is first of all, I boost the confidence in the first bits, and it's simple exercises of writing down 5 things what you're brilliant at, because we don't always write down the things what we're brilliant at. Well, we don't give ourselves we more focus on the things what we're not brilliant at, basically. Yep. Don't we, in life, with I'm not very good at that, or so it's kind of, the first bit is boosting your confidence, and it's full of fun, and I explain about the magic word bracelet and how I came up with the magic word. They're an intent bracelet, basically, and then I came up with my own word, magic, and then I wore my bracelet for 6 months and thinking, really, magic really empowers you, and then came up with the brand Magic Word Bracelet and started making them for friends and family and everything else, and then just started doing them in the hospital as well, and realizing how empowering words are, and they really are. So I've kind of just let it run organically, and I do it in my shows as well. I get the birthday child to pick a word as well, and it's lovely seeing what such a simple piece of jewelry on your wrist can be so magical. So it's talking about the magic word, and then we kind of focus on our holdbacks, and I cover different things of what gets in our own way, and then I go at the end, I talk about the visualizing, believing, and putting in the action, because if you don't put in the action, then your dreams don't come true. You've got to visualize it, believe it, and do the action. So that's how, because some like children just, they want simple words of love or family. A lot of children choose love and family and believe. So it's understanding that this bracelet is your bracelet, and you can have whatever word. If you've not got any worries and you might want a bracelet what just makes you smile in the morning, just put smile on there. If you want unicorn on there, it's trying to get across that it's a word what will serve you and help you and uplift you. So and it's trying to get across as well that there is absolutely no right or wrong word as well. It's just personal to you.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of powerful words there that I think, you know, if you start thinking about the children going back to school, you know, what the couple of things that I wrote down when you were talking there was they bind the magic to you, and they reaffirm that magic every time you look at it. So and I'm thinking about that, you know, my niece, bless her heart, is 8 years old, and she is equally excited and nervous about going back to school. She's excited about seeing her friends. She is nervous to the point of being quite scared about catching something. You know, she's become faintly obsessive about hand washing, which isn't a bad thing, but it's a little unnerving, you know, in the whole, you know, okay. So when I look at her, what I see is an anxious little girl. Now, you know, I think that there are going to be a lot of parents out there in the same position that are, you know, looking at anxious children. So that is that's your feel hook. Is you know, we're heading towards sending our children back to school. You know, wouldn't it be wonderful to send them back to school with the reassurance and the reaffirmation of a word that is magical to them?
Love it. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And there's so much scope in this, isn't it? And not only are the children going to be nervous, what about all those parents?
You know, as I was sitting there thinking, I could do with a magic word bracelet, frankly. You know, I do, because I think what's so lovely about it is that you're tapping into the emotion of the child. There's going to be some anxiety. There's going to be a little bit of, you know, fear, because I think for a lot of them, it's going to feel like going back to school, like the first day at school all over again. You know, are your friends still going to be your friends? You know, are your teachers going to be the same? It's all, you know, really unknown and unsure. So what can magic word bracelets do for the child? It helps them find a word that empowers them, as you're talking about there, you know, gives them confidence. And by having it on their bracelet, it's binding that magic to them every single day. And every time they have a little wobble, they can just look at their magic word. And, you know, and come back into that bubble. Now, for the parent, you just think, you know, if you're worried, you know, your child's been at home, been homeschooled since March, and you're now looking at September with a bit of trepidation about sending your child back to school, then, you know, why not get your child, I'll go down that road first, to create a magic word bracelet with you. So you have parent and child. So you get to have the whole kind of child chooses their word, parent chooses their word, but they do that together.
That's there was a mum and daughter on the masterclass when I ran it. It was a couple of months ago, to be honest. And it was exactly that. It was so nice to see them doing the exercises, what I was setting them of writing things down, what you're brilliant at. And they wrote about each other. So the mum got the daughter to say, what am I brilliant at? And vice versa, which was so nice to see the mum and daughter working together and writing these things down. So it was nice. It was good. Because we don't do these things, but we don't give ourselves time to kind of work on ourselves like this, and it's nice.
Yep, absolutely. You know, I think that's got really super potential.
It has, hasn't it?
And yes, I think a great focus for September is, you know, thinking about that whole, you know, building the excitement about it in the last half of this month. But then thinking, you know, September's a great time. I mean, I know that it sort of sits outside the process that you talked about, but you could also think about, would you like to create a magic word for somebody that you care about? I'm thinking nanas and aunties again, you know, who can't necessarily see the young person or the parent. You know, the first time parent sending kid off to school for the first time in September in the middle of COVID. I mean, that's going to scare anybody after death, isn't it? So, you know, is there the potential to say, you know, you don't have to be the child or the parent. You could be the person who cares about them, who wants to make a magic word bracelet for them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's got to be the focus then for that. It just fits in quite nicely then, doesn't it? So would you say to do another masterclass just before going back to school and end of August? So but I'll start building it up now. At least then we've got 3 weeks or so to get people booked on the virtual masterclass. And it works really nice for school. And that then, because obviously I've done this PR, that could be another press release then to send in, because I've not done the well-being yet. She's given me a load of contacts for the well-being, which is it's massive, really, isn't it? That's a massive area at the especially at the moment.
Yes, it is.
So this could be a nice story, a press release to send out, because it's going to be a lot in the media, the build up to sending the children back to school. There's going to be loads on this, isn't there?
It absolutely is. Yeah, absolutely.
So this could be a nice little story, a nice exercise to do. And a lot of people are either kind of taking breaks at the moment, aren't they? So I think in the next couple of weeks it'll all come back round to that, going back to school, building that up. So it'd be nice, that, wouldn't it? I did the masterclass. I did it over 3 days. I just did an hour. But I don't know if to just do it all in one. Or what would you recommend?
What is better for you with regards to being able to, frankly, Lucy, generate sales from it?
To generate sales, what? Not quite sure, to be honest. What? And just, I mean, when I've done the masterclass in the schools, it was like it was over a day. It was the workshop was an hour.
Yeah.
And then I made the bracelets for the rest of the day then, and then presented them to them. So it was really a nice, lovely day. And then I've done them over an evening, which was nice, and people got to the word. They did get to the word by the end of the evening. But when I did the masterclass over the 3 days, most of them had the word by the second day, which really shocked me, because I didn't want them to feel. A lot of them who joined onto the group had never been on Zoom before. It was all at the beginning of lockdown. So that was a massive achievement anyway, just getting connected to Zoom. So I didn't want any of them feeling nervous. So I didn't ask any of them what did they have a word on the first session. But by the second session, I said, has anybody got a word? And they all more or less had the word. I'm wondering whether I just do it over 2 days, or do I just do one? It's whether they've got the word by the end of the session. You don't want people thinking, oh, I've not got my word, and panicking.
No, exactly. So I think probably then I would suggest the 2 days. Yeah.
2 days. Yeah. I think
because it also means you're not giving them too long to overthink it.
Overthink it, that's it, isn't it? There's the panic of I've not got my word, and then there's
I'll just pick one, you know.
Yeah. And then it's the overthinking, because that's one thing what I do talk about, don't overthink it too much, and just go with what feels right for you. Because whatever word it is, you will plant that seed, you will plant that word, and you will make it grow into something what serves you. If it just, like the word magic, I picked that because it covered a lot. It weren't just because I do magic. It was like I had believe, I had sparkle, I had smile, and I thought, well, magic just covers all them kind of words anyway. You can make it into whatever to serve you. It's your word, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think if it's that part of the marketing, if you like, is it's your word, and you know, it doesn't matter what the word is. It's your word. It's what it's what means something to you. It's what's important to you. It's what's special to you. You know, if your word, your word could be chocolate.
Yeah,
and that's fine. You know, it doesn't have to be something deeply meanul and that it can just be the word that makes you happy, the word that makes you smile. That kind. I think that's a really key message with this is, if you're creating your own magic word, then it's something that does exactly that, lifts you, makes you smile, gives you confidence. If you're thinking about creating a magic word for somebody else, it's either going to be how they make you feel, or how you want them to feel when they see it.
100%, definitely. Oh, great. That's give me something, because I did want to focus on the magic word bracelet come September, but that's just now thinking, right, there's no point waiting to go in until the kids are back at school, because I would then once I've done the masterclass, I would then, my next thing would be to get myself into schools, because that was the way I was going with it anyway before all this. But doing the masterclass before will then be a nice, it would be a nice little story as well to put into a press release to tap into schools then, won't it? Because that was where I was wanting to go with things anyway.
So I think that is a great sort of two-pronged plan for the next few weeks is you know, the giggles on wheels, not taking your eye off the ball there, because that is bringing money in whilst everything's just all gone to hell in a handcart. So, you know, thinking about how you could make that more accessible to people, telling the story about what happens when you book a party, you know, and then get on the whole magic word thing. I think that sounds great, particularly if you approach it with the whole back to school, people are going to be a bit anxious, both sides are going to be you know, both child and parents are going to be feeling a little bit wobbly about this thing. So, you know, magic bracelets just, you know, bind that magic to you and gives you that reaffirmation every day.
It does indeed. You'll have to let me know your word and I'll send you one.
Oh, that's really easy. My word would be home.
Home? Do you know what? You're the second person who's chose home.
I waited 20 years to have one, and you know, when I got married, I'm married to an Air Force pilot. So you know, for the first 3 years of our marriage, we were in military accommodation, and we always talked about what it would be like when we found the place we wanted to live, and we didn't. It found us. And we, you know, and we've been here now for 7.5 years, and it is the place I am happiest in the world.
I know. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, well, exactly that. The other lady who did chose home is because a home makes her really happy. It's where she's the happiest. So, I love that.
It is absolutely my happy place.
It looks.
But you see, I didn't really struggle with lockdown at all, because it meant I was where I could be where I wanted to be. So you know, it's been fabulous.
It's been
from
fab
that perspective.
for you. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Good
That's
stuff.
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I've not been on any of the 4N stuff, I'll be honest, at the moment, but I've just been, do you know Crossley?
Yeah.
So I did his masterclass the other week. I was away on holiday though, so I had to come off for another meeting as well. So I only kind of did probably 3/4 of it. Well, probably probably more half of it, be honest. But the bits what I did go do, I really like his relax, and it totally makes sense. So I've been really trying to use his science of just relaxing and taking yourself out of that panic mode.
Yeah.
I really like his stuff, actually. I really do like it. But does he do any speaking on the 4N stuff or not? Because I know
I don't think he does. I haven't seen him foresight anywhere. So I don't think he can do, which is a bit odd. But no, I don't see him on the foresight circuit at all.
No. I just saw him comments. He put a comment on the group, on the 4N group, the other week, and I thought, I wonder if he does any of the 4N stuff. So no, I need to get back onto doing a few of the meetings actually.
Well, it's Tires on Tuesday again tomorrow, if you fancy coming along to that one again.
Oh right, okay. I'll have a look and see what time's that.
So that's 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Or if that doesn't work, you've got Traffic Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Just after, so I go from one to the other on a Tuesday, every other Tuesday. It's like, oh my word! So yeah, Tires on Tuesday, and then straight into Traffic at 12.
Right. Okay. I shall have a look at those later on.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Oh,
right,
great!
then,
well, that's really helped. Thank you so much. And
you're so welcome.
What do you want to do about the next one?
So it should be this day and time each month. So the calendar appointment is the same, if you see what I mean. It's not a new link. So it will be, just 1 second. The 14th of September will be the next one.
Righty-ho. I shall put it in 1 o'clock. Brilliant. KAPOW. Awesome. There we go. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sweetheart. I will get the notes and stuff over to you as soon as I can.
Brilliant. Thank you.
And I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Take care, lovey. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Bye.